Edinson Cavani has come to life at Manchester United. His performances have been sharp and his telling contributions have changed his squad status. An ageing forward who was previously a backup now suddenly looks undroppable. Now, originally, the ageing and expensive Cavani was seen as a symptom of United's failures in recruitment. In reality, he's added depth to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's attack and also changed its dynamic. And to understand how, it's important to examine its other components. Since his arrival in early 2020, Bruno Fernandes has been credited with transforming the club's fortunes. He's also the only one of United's attacking options to have nailed down a specific position in the front four of Solskjaer's preferred 4-2-3-1 formation. Fernandes roams between the lines, searching for pockets, creating angles and crossing from the channels. He will occasionally look to run in behind and provides a shooting threat from the edge of the box. Lacking the passing range and more dynamic qualities of Paul Pogba, the Portuguese thrives in his more advanced free role behind the striker. From here, he can get on the ball in transition and release one of the quicker forwards on the counter-attack. Blessed with pace and acceleration, Marcus Rashford has developed into an intelligent runner who attacks the space behind defences from out to in, latching onto balls over the top. He's also becoming a truly outstanding dribbler who prefers to receive near the touchline in space before driving inside, beating defenders and creating shooting opportunities either for himself or a teammate. Rashford is now good enough and adaptable enough to do this off either flank, but he's typically deployed from the left. Which leaves Mason Greenwood on the right. He also makes runs inside from wide, but he isn't quite as explosive as Rashford. What he does possess, though, is a wicked left-footed shot from the edge of the box. Operating in the inside right channel, he constantly tries to work shooting angles through step-overs, sharp turns, or combination play. And finally, Anthony Martial. Last season, he was Manchester United's top scorer in all competitions with 23 goals. His form has dipped this season, but he remains Cavani's main competition for the lone striker spot. Martial can play up front or from the left, and his most common run is into space behind the opposition's right back, from where he can square up the centre-back and come inside onto his favoured right foot. He's similar to Rashford in that he poses a threat on the break with his speed and tends to operate from some of the same areas, but dissimilar in the sense that he would rather combine his play inside than dribble, and that he often receives the ball at a standing start. So what does Cavani provide to that group? Well, most obviously, his unique threat inside the penalty area. Cavani's movement in the box is superb and subtle. Whether it's drifting blindside of a centre-back before running in front of him, checking his run to create separation from his man, or pulling wider towards the fullback to create more of an angle for the crosser, he's always looking for ways to attack balls into the box. That movement, combined with significant heading ability and one-touch composure, gives Manchester United the sort of outlet they otherwise lack. And even when well marked, Cavani makes space for others by disrupting marking schemes, displacing defenders, and creating space for his teammates. Against opponents operating from a low block, that's an invaluable quality. But Cavani also moves to become available between the lines and protects the ball well with his back to goal. His strength makes him hard to dispossess, while he has the touch to play layoffs and bring other forwards into the attack. Again, that's a quality that none of United's other forwards can really replicate. It's also why he seems to combine particularly well with Fernandes via opposite movements, step-overs, third-man runs, and 1-2s. The Cavani-Fernandes partnership was at its effective best for United's second goal in their draw away to Leicester. As Cavani went short to receive the ball to feet behind Leicester's midfield, Fernandes was on the shoulder of the last man, threatening to go in behind. With Leicester's centre-backs tied up, Cavani was free to receive on the turn and drive at the defence before playing Fernandes through to score. Now, although this partnership is still in its infancy, there is enough to suggest that Cavani could work alongside Fernandes in ways that Martial, with his preference for drifting wide left, doesn't. Through his aerial threat, clever runs and link play, it can be argued that Cavani doesn't simply change the dynamic of Manchester United's attack, but improves it, makes it more precise and intricate. Nevertheless, Solskjaer continues to see Cavani as a backup in games which require a counter-attacking strategy, and yet there is an argument in favour of Cavani starting these games too. He may lack the acceleration and verticality of Martial, but he does offer better protection of the ball and aerial ability. While not as explosive when played into space, he could be useful if targeted directly with long balls or passes into feet, flicking on or holding up and waiting for support. It provides a template of sorts. Cavani is approaching the end of his career and is on a short-term contract at Manchester United. But even if his stay is brief, it's been impactful enough to instruct the club as to the type of striker they need to complement this group in the future.